what can you do? What steps can you take to step up and to show up this year, to do something differently, to work towards the goals, the aspirations that you have in your career this year? So a few things for you to consider. Number one, ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? And what I mean by that is, as I mentioned before, our perceptions create, our reputation creates those perceptions for other people. But the thing we need to remember here is that our perception of ourselves is not necessarily the perception that other people have of us. We may think that we show up in a certain way, that we come across in a certain way and create a particular kind of impression with other people. But it's more important to know what impression those people get from us and how they perceive us. So what can you do with that? Well, I would advise you to do this, and it can be uncomfortable, it can be a little scary, but what you can try is this: reach out to, I'd say, between 3 and 5 people in your professional circle, people that you trust, people that you've worked with, and this can be in peers, managers, mentors, people that have reported to you, and ask them to share with you simply 3 words or phrases that would come to mind for them when they hear your name mentioned. And when you receive that feedback, take a look at it and ask yourself the question, am I happy with this? Is this the way that I want to be coming across? Now, typically you will see a theme flowing through the different responses. There will be a lot of similarities. But be honest with yourself and say, well, am I really happy with this? Is there something that I feel is very important in the way that I want to be seen, but nobody's actually picked that up? What you want to be doing in this exercise is identifying the gaps. What are those gaps and what can you do to close them? So what I mean by that is, think about, for example, if someone says, you come across as authentic, you're well spoken, you're engaging, but nobody's talked about, let's say, your ability to communicate well. Maybe you think you're a really good presenter, but actually nobody's talked about that. But you believe you're an outstanding presenter when it comes to standing up at meetings or in broader presentations or pitches with clients, but nobody's noted that. And you're thinking, well, I know I'm really good at that, so what's going on? So this is where it helps you to identify the gaps of what's missing, or what can you do differently so that the next time you reach out to people and ask the same question, or you reach out to another group of people, they mention that, they recognize that. You want to be sure that the way that you want to come across is aligned with how other people are seeing you. So it might even be worth, before reaching out to people, to ask them to have a little brainstorm with yourself and jot down some of those things that you feel are important to you, that you want to be known for, and the things that you think already are things that people see in you. And maybe you've picked that up through conversations, maybe with your manager, with a mentor already. So you might already have a good idea. But the idea of this is to see if there's any potential gaps, or gaps that you can work on, or areas that you can develop and improve upon. And that's one of the first things I would think about.